At the beginning of this year, I gifted myself an AeroPress on my birthday. Basically, it's an equipment you use to make filter coffee. And for that reason, I started buying beans. I began to go to different cafes and pick beans by myself. And I purchased beans almost every alternate week. While doing so, I got exposed to the world of specialty coffee. So basically all these cafes which you saw right now are specialty cafes. And what does specialty coffee mean? Specialty coffees are usually single origin. That means they come from single farm and not mixed with different farms or different regions. And most of the times the farmers are directly connected to the roasters. So farming conditions are amazing. The beans are picked up and goes through harvesting process at the farm itself. And all the things which are done to the beans are noted down and controlled very nicely by experienced farmers. Then these coffee beans are transported to the roasters, and roasters then process it and roast it with different styles and different techniques to get the best sense or best essence or best flavor out of that coffee bean. And that's what is very unique about specialty coffee, because when you drink specialty coffee, when you start drinking specialty coffee, you start getting that taste. Usually these coffees are made with stressing some notes. For example, some are fruity, some are nutty, some have some different textures like mousse, sometimes there is mango, sometimes there is some other fruit, and all these tastes are elevated by the roasters while doing the roasting process, and also based on how the beans have been made at the origin itself. The whole essence of specialty coffee is of course the fair trade and really organic farming and all those things, but at the same time the taste of coffee is to the center. That's why it's called specialty coffee, because there are processes done in controlled environment to enhance the best out of that coffee bean, to get the best flavor, essence and the content of that coffee bean to the consumer or to the one who is drinking. And that's why I started liking specialty coffee. As I started drinking it more and more, I started understanding how it actually tastes, or how can you really understand the small details of the whole texture and the whole kind. While exploring this world of specialty coffee, while talking to all these baristas and while visiting these different cafes and brewing the coffee by myself with this AeroPress, I came to know that there is World of Coffee conference happening in Berlin. Basically it's a global conference where farmers from different regions, the roasters from the different regions, also the people who are making different coffee machines and the processing machines and designer wares, and all those people are coming together to display their talent. At the same time there are different competitions, there are different types of events happening during this conference. So in today's video, in today's episode, we are going to see the whole fun which happened at Berlin at World of Coffee, and we will go through all these details, and I would like to show you how this whole world of coffee is so massive, so giant, and so many details are around the whole topic in this video. But after the intro, and this video is going to be super fun, because if you follow me on Instagram, I'm continuously consuming coffee. That's the only beverage I put a lot of money on, as I'm a teetotaler, and if you just follow me on Instagram to see all that fun as well, because I keep visiting these amazing cafes and I keep posting stories and all those pictures on my Instagram. So just a slight plug, the Fun Indian Gone Instagram, but that's not the aim of this video. Today's video is about the world of coffee. So let's roll the intro and jump into it. So the World of Coffee conference happened basically in an exposition center near Berlin, and I reached there and there were so many things happening there. I saw the list of the things and the venues, and I was really overwhelmed by the whole thing because I had limited time and I tried to cover most of it. So I began with Roaster Village, and this place was basically different types of booths everywhere by different roasters all around the world. So they were showing all the roasts they have from their roastery, and they were at the display. You could taste them and you could just get the feeling of all these different types of coffees made around the world. So I was going around all these roasteries drinking different types of coffees. While going around, I saw booth of my favorite roastery from Berlin called Roastate, and I bumped into my friend Tal, who is barista over there, and actually she told me about this conference, and that's how I contacted the people from the conference and scored myself a press pass so that I can make this video for you guys. And then I continued going around the roastery village and I saw cupping happening. Cupping was very new for me. I heard it many times, but I couldn't get any opportunity to really witness or really experience the cupping, and there I got to do it. Basically what they do is roasters display all the roasts they have from their roastery, and they brew it freshly and then they give it time. There is a technique to do it, a proper step-by-step process, and then you go and sip one by one every coffee. I really have to dig more into this topic. Maybe one day we will do a whole video about cupping. But anyway, I got to experience cupping for the first time, not one time, like many times around that roastery village. And actually after that I went to this arena and there was world championships happening for baristas. For example, latte art championship, where they do latte art on your cappuccino, the way they make like small hearts and all the things. I saw people making like crocodiles and all the complex shapes on the coffee with that milk and the foam. It was really brilliant. Then there was ibrik. I think it's kind of a coffee from Turkey, the way they make it. There were different recipes these barista were presenting to the people and the judges. And there was spirit competition where they were mixing these alcohols in coffee and making different cocktails. It was really interesting the way they present, because they also have to explain while making what they're doing. They have to keep everything clean, and it was a really nice experience. I had heard about it, I had seen winners, and I have seen the trophies everywhere in the cafes, but this was first time I got to witness this barista championships in front of me. After that, I started wandering around, as the place was super big, and then there was a big commercial area where there were big harvesting machines, there were big roasting machines and big coffee machines and all those nice technology put in. But I was not so interested in that because I didn't have much sense about it, so I just kept roaming around, and I was also getting a bit exhausted. Though I had many coffees, but still it was a bit overwhelming, and I kept going around it. The interesting part I liked about this exposition was this place where they had put design award competitors, and there were different categories. There were packaging, like different types of packaging of coffee, and there was a competition, so there were different designs. And as coming from design background, I really felt amazing seeing that. Then there was a competition for the spaces, so different cafes, the interior, and a bit of architecture, which was really interesting. And there were also different types of cups and mugs and containers, and it was really interesting. So that particular part was one of the highlights for me. This whole world of coffee was crazy big, but this whole experience was amazing. The only thing which I missed, or which was my mistake in a sense, that because of this whole setups, big booths, exhibitions, lights and everything, I was really distracted. And when I left, I felt that I should have made the farmers which were also presenting their coffee, because I do like the sense that specialty coffee always pushes the coffee message since the beginning. So from farmer till the time you consume the coffee in the cafe or at your home, that relation is very important. Most of the times we have no clue who are the farmers, where this coffee is coming from, how are the farms and what kind of farming was happening. And as I started consuming specialty coffee, I started feeling this kind of connection with these farmers, and that I felt that was my mistake, that I couldn't get time to meet and talk to these farmers. Maybe next time I'll do that, because that's very important for me in a sense. Like, I felt a bit incomplete at the end of it. So this whole specialty coffee is really new for me. It's been just 6-7 months I'm into it, and this video is just to give you an idea how I started and how I ended up being in a World of Coffee conference and what I experienced. Thank you for your time. I would really like to know what all kinds of foods and beverages you like, and what is your feeling about it, because you can't just be consumer. Like, we are not cars to just drink petrol and run, or drink diesel or drink electricity and keep running. We have taste buds, we have ethics, we have a lot of thinking behind it, and when we consume food and drinks, we should also be a bit mindful about it, to understand where it is coming from, who is the farmer, what is the origin. It's amazing. It's exciting, giving a different perspective. Like, when you are eating the vegetable, think about the farmer, think about where did it come from, think about that soil, think about the whole water and the system which is running on that farm, and that's the reason why you're eating it. And it's like energy conversion and energy transformation coming from that soil to your mouth, and that's how you're running your body. It's like complete complex system, but I've started to gain a bit of curiosity behind it. That's all from today's video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to the Funny Indian Guy. Thank you for your presence, and I will see you in the next one. And till that time, don't forget to have fun, because having fun is not an option, it's a must. So go out, have fun, and consume a bit mindfully. Crazy.